When Alan Watts talked about Zen in a room, it was 1966, filled with scents of oranges and incense. His intertwined fingers made a world, then opened and let it go. Already I lead you astray, he began as world after world spilled from his hands. I want to say, he went on to quote that old hermit Lao Tzu, the way you can go isn't the real way. The name you can say isn't the real name. But I've forgotten his words. Remember only a murmur rising and falling like water swirling over stones. We were present, we were cocooned, we were listening for something from which words rose and to which they returned. Like his hands, the words made a story that washed through a large silence and dissolved the room. Where were we then? Then he swept his hands together as if praying and bowed. There we were on our hard chairs and benches, redolence of oranges fading as we stood, stretched, stumbled out into the soft San Francisco night where, wings not yet dry, we lingered. A hum of quiet conversation rose in a cloud of warmth, or maybe kindness, as almost enlightened. We shifted like that water against a shore, then turned towards home. This next poem actually isn't in the Fiddlehead, it's part of the group, however. You must find yourself where you already are, the Zen master said. I'm home again, staring at my feet in the middle of the night. Do I want to be here? Those feet, they've walked some distance and now their belly aching keeps me awake. If this is homecoming, maybe I should limp to another viewpoint. I've been failing to look up for years now, something punky at my core. The waning moon is a blur in bare branches, the plain that passed below it long gone. Longing's not a walk in the park. Take Forsythia. The yellow veil falling down the hill is lovely, it's true, but mere days from now it'll be gone. I could pick up my bed and walk, except I'm stopped by the same old queasy questions, the same stubborn insistence on following two roads at once. If home is where the heart is, I could tune myself to that rhythm, but I'm already arguing the other side. Home is where your feet give out. They know where you've been, chewing over the old uncertainties, always between places, not wanting, wanting. And then the final poem is Rivers and Tides, a portrait of Andy Goldsworthy as avatar of Lao Tzu. Everywhere he looks, light, weather, emerging forms. His hands, blunt-fingered, itch to make them material. Watching water surrender to gravity and terrain, he gathers leaves, threads them in a line and gives it to the river. It snakes downstream, the serpentine shape that haunts him come alive, a form that might make even rocks flow riverine across a landscape. Here on this Nova Scotia beach, he has almost mastered how to be present to the stones. It's the sand that's evading him, he thinks. The press of the tides return like the return of another form, a cone fallen from some pine in his mind. His hands, knowing the eros of hover and pause, places slabs of rock harvested from that sand. Will this one settle or tip and dissolve into formlessness again? 4 times it collapses, stones gone dumb and waiting for resurrection. Like the cone itself when built, then swallowed by the sea. Thank you, everyone.